As each of us progress through life, gathering experience and perspective, we seldom have the opportunity to recount our personal stories and impart the knowledge we've gained. Walking among us, one and all, are living legacies. Welcome to another edition of Living Legacies. I'm Tom Morrow, your host, and we're continuing our talk with Rudy González of Oceanside, who is the former lightweight champion of the world in the boxing world. You were known as El Gato.
El Gato, yes.
As much as I mangled it on the first the first show. It isn't Los Gatos or La Gato, it's El Gato.
El Gato, yeah.
Gato. Well, now you won the belt. This is it.
Yes.
You won this in what year?
It was November the 10th, 1972.
And who did you beat?
I beat Chango Carmona for a 15-round fight in those days, at the sports arena in Los Angeles.
Now, how long had he been the champ?
He was champ for 2 months.
2 months.
Yeah, he beat my stablemate Armando Ramos, who was one of the youngest lightweight champions the world in boxing history. He beat him 2 months earlier, knocked him out, and he's the only one who, I went up into the ring when they fought at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and I went up into the ring, and I was so desperate, I wanted to fight anybody. So I challenged the winner, whoever wins, I fight him for this. So he won, so he gave me the opportunity to fight him. And
let me ask you about that, because we see so often that when two fighters, when they're promoting their fight, they act real angry at one another. Is the anger real, or is it kind of staged?
It's more or less a show, No, it's not real.
I mean, there's a certain camaraderie among fighters.
Yes. It's only to create bring more people in, and have more people watch the fight, and Of
course, there has been some animosity.
Yes, but it has been some real, especially in my life. In my life, there has been a lot of real fights, and there used to be fights in the weigh-in when I was fighting with my opponents. They started calling me names and acting up, and so we got in a fight right there. And the commissioners, they would separate us, really, right before the fight.
Tell me about the fight that you had an unexpected visitor in the ring when you were. Is this down in Guadalajara?
No, it was in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles. This was in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Well, tell us about that fight.
Yeah, I was.
Who were you fighting?
Kind of a homesick. I was fighting Juan Collado from the Dominican Republic. And he was number 6 in the world at that time, and I was.
Were you ranked?
Yes, I was number 5.
Yes. You were number 5. Okay.
Number 5, yes. I was just feeling homesick. I just, all the my managers couldn't give me any fights, and I was just I didn't have the willing to fight anymore. I would have lost the fight, but I was in my dressing room at the Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles. When it comes, you heard Jimmy Lennon. You saw Jimmy Lennon. Remember Jimmy Lennon? He's the ring announcer. He came to my dressing room and said, we have somebody who wants to talk to you. And I was kind of in a bad mood, No, I don't want to talk to anybody. No, it's fine. He said, no, this person wants to talk to you. No, please, no, thank you. And then he came back again. He said, no, this person wants to talk to you. It was my mother. I hadn't seen my mother for so long. Thank God. And,
well, that wasn't the visitor I had in mind. It was the one that one of the fans threw something into the ring. The rattlesnake.
Oh, the rattlesnake.
When did that happen?
That happened in my younger days. Probably was about.
Now that did happen in Guadalajara.
No, in Michoacan.
Okay.
Morelia.
Okay.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, what happened is I was, since my opponent, he was the idol there. He was the hometown.
He was the
hero.
hometown favorite.
Yes,
yeah.
And I was an outsider.
Yeah.
And in the second round, I was beating him up. So the people, I guess, didn't like it. So they threw a rattlesnake snake into the ring, big snake. So I jump on top of one corner of the ring, and my opponent jump on top of the other corner. No, it was scary, you know, with snakes, you know, going all over, and the referee was jumping, you know, he was afraid. So finally,
I mean, it's funny now, but it wasn't funny at the time.
no, we were shaking, and finally somebody brought him a broom.
The
And
referee.
he with the broom was killing the snake. Finally, it took him a while, but he finally killed the snake.
I was going to say, killing a rattlesnake with a broom doesn't seem like it'd be very easy.
Not, he was having a hard time, but finally, thank God, you know, he finally killed and picked up the snake with the broom. It was a big one, you know, big snake. How they did it, I don't know. These people, what were they thinking? I don't know, you know.
Well, yeah,
Those things happen.
Those would be very dangerous. And you went on to win the fight?
Yes.
Did you have to have a police escort to get out of town?
Well, it was. There's some people that helped me out there. You know, protection. Yeah, it's not safe.
Yeah. So the favorites in hometowns like that, that's pretty prevalent down in Mexico, where you
in those days it was, you know, not much anymore, you know. But in those days, was, yeah. Nowadays, what they do, they throw bottles of beer.
So getting back to your original story, Mom came to see you.
Oh, back in Los Angeles?
Yeah, in Los Angeles.
Yeah, it was
Did
my
she get
mother.
to talk to you before the fight, or did
No, I hadn't seen her for a long time, and I hadn't seen my family for a long time, and I was, you know, just having a hard time because I was not progressing, and not getting any fights that
they
I
didn't
wanted.
tell you who it was then? Huh?
They didn't tell me who he was. Jimmy Lennon didn't tell me. You know, he was a good friend of mine, Jimmy Lennon. He was really a nice person. He didn't say. He wanted to surprise me. So finally, when I saw it with my mother, I gave her a hug. I went and knocked him out.
How many rounds did
I
that
knocked
go?
him out in the 9th round. He was a pretty good fighter. You know, he was one of the top ranked fighters in those days. Yeah.
Well, tell me about you. How long did you fight? What year did you retire?
I retired back in by the end of 74. 74, close, by the end of 74, I didn't fight anymore. I was too tired, couldn't make the weight anymore, and it was just, I already had made it to the top, you know, there's no, you know.
Now, when you gave up the lightweight crown, was that, did you lose the fight, or did you just retire?
Well, I lost the championship fight in Tokyo. Yes, I lost.
In Tokyo?
Yes, I lost the fight, but that's just my weight. You know, the weight I couldn't make the weight. I had to lose 25 pounds in 10 days.
You were too heavy, yeah.
Yeah, and I was we joke about that now when I see him, my trainer, when him and my manager used to push me from the stool when I was sitting down in my corner. I couldn't even get up. I was so weak I couldn't even get up. They had to push me to stand up.
And you were about 27 at the time?
No, I was. I was. That's when I retired. I had one more fight after that, and I retired. I didn't want to get hurt anymore because I didn't have the strength to fight anymore. Yeah.
Now you're in the Sports Hall of Fame down in Balboa Park.
Yes.
And you're one of only three boxers.
3 boxers, yes.
And that's you and
Kenny Norton and Archie Moore.
Archie Moore.
Yes. I was so fortunate to be inducted into the World Boxing Hall of Fame in 1973.
Now where's that? Where's that?
Los
Hall of
Angeles.
Fame? In Los Angeles.
Yes. It's they have in the museum. It's called the LA Athletic Club. Yes, where Sonny Liston with Joe Louis and all they used to train there. And it's a very historical building.
Right.
Very historical building. Yes.
So how did you get into the movies?
But I have a friend that's he's very, very intelligent and also very he never stands still. He's really in those days. His name is Stu Siegel, and he's got a big company. He has big studios and
He had a big production company.
yes, called Stu Siegel Production.
Yeah.
And I met him, and as a matter of fact, he reminded me that he used to remember when we met in the boxing gym in San Diego. He took a picture with me in those days, and then there's, I believe, 1973 when that happens, you know. And now, you know, that now he's, I'm so honored to be part of his company, to be, you know, to be working in his, you know, his production. Yeah.
Well, now your first experience before the camera was that you were on vacation in Hawaii, and you got a role on Hawaii 5-0.
Yes, that was way back. Yes, yes.
I mean, that was really way back. What role did you play?
Well, that was my first one, very first one. I don't know acting. I don't know anything at all. And that was the theme of the episode that time. What happens is they asked me to. So I was a prize fighter at that time, and I got killed. You know, at the beginning, I got killed. You know, and then they investigated.
You had a very short role.
Very short role. They investigated my death. You know.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And then you went on to do Mannix. You were in
Yeah,
Mannix.
in those days, you know.
Starsky and Hutch.
Yes, in those, I worked small parts in those and all of those.
Barnaby Jones.
Yes, in those days.
And even one called High Chaparral.
Yes,
yeah?
yes, in those days. Yeah.
Now, and then you did some movies. B.J. Hammer.
B.J. Hammer, yes.
Was that Burt Reynolds?
No, this was Fred Williamson.
Oh yeah.
Fred Williams.
Okay,
he was a football player.
Right.
Yeah.
I know. I know who Fred is.
He was the star of the film.
Lipstick. That was that was a thriller. What role did you have in that?
I was not too proud of that one.
Oh, was that right? That wasn't a good role.
No.
And and a few others. And you've also done some commercials.
Yes, I have. Yes.
What commercial? Would we recognize any of those?
Well, I did for milk commercial one time, and I've done for mostly milk commercials, and also did another for Iowa, for the state of Iowa. There was for cigarette smoking bad for your health and things. Yeah.
Iowa.
Yeah, for Iowa.
Well,
I don't know. It's just they said they were going to show in the state of Iowa. I don't know. I didn't see it. Never seen it.
Now, what have you done for Stu Siegel?
I have worked, you know, it's small parts. You know, I work in some of the television series they have, and some of the movies. They call me, you know, since everybody knows me there. So they have a small part for certain movies. So they call me to play in their part. Yeah.
Well, we want to talk about your life story. That you've signed the contract. There's going to be a movie made of that. I mean, it's in negotiation now.
Right now, we're in negotiation.
But let's go back a little bit. In the first half of this show, the first part of the show that we did with you the last time, you had mentioned how you had hurt your liver.
Yes.
When you wanted to be a bullfighter.
Yes.
And that came back to haunt you years later.
Yeah, I was. It became a tumor, a liver tumor, and cancerous, and it started spreading all over my body. And I saw many doctors, you know, and
they didn't give you much hope, did they?
No, some doctors gave me like 6 months to live, and I went to see a doctor in Las Vegas, Nevada, and back in those days, and.
This is in the 70s?
Yes, no, 60s.
60, okay.
And he gave me 2 months to live, you know. So I was just came back to Tijuana to die in my mother's house. Yeah, and that was the end of me, and I didn't have no hopes of living anymore. You know.
So what happened?
Well, a beautiful guy, believe me. Oh, he's so great. You know, he's my number one. Oh.
Number one fan, huh?
Oh, if it weren't for our beautiful God, I wouldn't be here today.
Well, what happened?
I was, that time when I got back from
Las Vegas?
From Las Vegas, you know, I had a dream of the Virgin. You heard of the Virgin of Guadalupe? The Mother of the Lord. Had a dream of the Virgin at that time, and then in that dream she told me to come to her church and pray to her dear son. That's what she said in the dream. So the next morning I woke up and real happy. I told my mother, I had a dream of the Virgin last night, and I want to go to the church. The miracle took place in the cathedral in Tijuana back in 1964. That's when the miracle took place. So the next day I went to the church, the cathedral in Tijuana, downtown Tijuana, which is not a very good area. It's rough.
Yeah.
Well, it's beautiful cathedral, a beautiful church. That time I was really even having a hard time. They used to give me morphine to kill the pain, and it wasn't doing the job anymore. And I was too bad, you know.
Yeah.
Too far gone. And so I went to the church, and I even had a hard time walking to the altar. You know, so had a hard time breathing. I couldn't even hardly breathe because of the pain. You know. So I got close to the altar, and I kneeled down, looked up at our Lord, and I said, "Dear God, here I am. Do with me as you will." And I kneeled down, and I stood there, and about a minute later, I felt something so warm coming from the altar, something so beautiful, something that can't explain it, unreal, so beautiful. This, for all the unbelievers out there, there's a lot of unbelievers out there that I have found, the miracles happen. Then about 2 minutes later, I started breathing better, you know, the more freely, you know.
The pain was going away?
The pain was going away slowly down, you know. The pain was still there, but, you know, down. And then about 5 minutes later, I stood up, and I was breathing much better, you know, by the grace of God, you know. And I stood there. I didn't know what was happening, but I knew something good was happening at that moment. I look up at our Lord. I say, "Thank you, Lord. I'll be coming back to see you." So I woke out, and when I went out on the street about 10 o'clock in the morning, I was shaking hands with everybody that I found on the streets. What a beautiful day God has given us. And they looked at me as if I was crazy. I didn't care. Who cares, you know? I knew that my beautiful God had, you know, done good for me, you know. And then, you know, 2 months later, gone. No medical explanation.
The doctors couldn't figure it out.
There was doctors there that wanted to take off my liver. Take it off. And I didn't let it. I thought, no, I really died, you know.
He wanted to remove the tumor?
Yeah, I wanted to remove the whole thing. And then I said, no, thanks.
But when they looked at it again, it was all gone?
All gone. He said, this is something that this is beyond our understanding, you know.
Did you ever talk to anyone at the church? Did they ever try to document the miracle?
Oh, yes. I have talked to the priests. They know how much a beautiful God has been in my life. And I have so much there's going to be coming out in the movie, and also in my book there's going to be coming out. But I went back to the church when I won the belt, the first belt. I went back to the church and took my whole family with me, and I even have it taped. They filmed when I went back to the church, and I said, and I went to the church. I said, "Dear Lord, I told you I was coming, and here I am." I took the belt and I gave it to him and the Virgin of Guadalupe, the belt, and I left it at her feet, the belt. And that belt, they took it to Mexico City, where she appeared in Mexico City, in the shrine in Mexico City. That's where they have the belt.
Is that right?
That's where the belt is now.
That's a beautiful story, Rudy.
Thank you. That's where the belt is now, and the movie is going to be based on that particular miracle, yes.
So really you could say that even though you've been this great athlete and had this world championship, it's really a secondary story. I mean, that's really not the most fabulous thing that's ever happened to you in your life. That the miracle is
has
really defined your life.
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm believing this. And after that, every morning when I get out, I say, "Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Father, for giving me one more day to live. You know, help me to please you this day. You know, thank you. I'm so happy." You know?
So how did you get to Oceanside?
I had a friend. Her name was. I even forgot her name.
Well, anyway, you had a friend.
Yes, a friend. So I came back to stay at her house. We had met her before, years back, and came to visit her, and then stayed there with her. You know, came back, stayed. I left my family in New Mexico. We had some property in New Mexico, so I left my family in New Mexico, and I came back to find a better future, you know, here in California.
Right.
In those days,
Yeah.
And I stay here. You know.
That was about 20 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a long time ago. Yes.
Did you work anywhere, go into business or anything like that when you were here? Or?
I had the sports festival in 1980 here in San Diego, where I had the honor. I have 2,800 athletes, and those days kids.
Now this is a sports what?
A sports festival.
Sports festival.
Like a Junior Olympics type.
Yeah, and this is in San Diego.
In San Diego, yes. At that time, there was Pete Wilson, Mr. Pete Wilson. He was the mayor of the city.
He was the mayor, yeah.
And the door was open for me. The whole city, the whole county says, "Do go ahead." No. So I had also the backup from the San Diego Police Department, from the National City Police Department, Chula Vista Police Department. They helped me a lot too. Finally, I had a champions from all over the county of San Diego, you know, for all the communities.
Right.
And at the end, at the finals game, they closed up Highland Avenue, National City was closed up, and there was a lot of people standing there. But I had a parade for all the champions with their banners, and I had the San Diego marching band, and then there was some politicians also in the parade.
Yeah.
It was also television coverage, you know, also in those days. It was really nice. It was a success.
What were some of the sports that these were young people?
Yeah.
What year?
From 7 years of age to 21.
Oh, okay.
And also from this were like underprivileged kids. They had no skills to, you know, even.
This was running events and.
Yes.
And,
they're all the events.
Did you do any boxing?
Obstacle courses. No boxing because of security purposes. You
sure.
know, license,
Sure.
you know. So there's one sport that I didn't have, but I had everything else. You know.
Well, now you're working on a project here in Oceanside right now to get a boxing club started.
Well, I want to
again?
see if I can get together with the city managers or the mayor. Hopefully, I can get some be able to start a boxing club here to help the youth here at Oceanside, and also start a sports festival here in Oceanside if it's possible.
Well, there's a gentleman in Carlsbad that did that down there. That he's been very successful down there. I can't remember his name now, but I've written about him a couple of times. But boxing's been good to you.
It's been great. You know, great. It was a tough sport, but thank God it's been great. Yeah. I had met a lot of people. As a matter of fact, when I won the championship of the world, in my dressing room, when I came back to my dressing room, there was a reporter standing up in front of me, and one reporter was standing up with his legs wide open, and then Peter Fall Colombo comes from between his legs and looking up at it.
Who was this?
Peter Fall Colombo.
Oh,
So I thought,
Peter Fall?
Come on, come on, take a picture. So we took a picture, and I got a picture of him and I. You know,
He's quite a boxing fan, isn't he?
He followed my fights almost, you know, quite often. He used to come to watch me fight, and I guess he liked the way I fight, so he used to come to watch me fight.
Well, boxing has given you a good living. It got you to become a citizen of the United States.
Oh yes,
you learned to read and write.
Yes,
it's really an education.
It's been a blessing from God. Thank God. I also met a lot of people, a lot of wonderful people. You know, there's a lot of bad people out there, but also good people, you know, God's people. So
now, what do you say to those who you know? There's a certain element in society today that they want to ban boxing and they think it's a brutal sport.
Well, boxing it is a rough sport, but it's not. It's if the person takes care of himself and is really an athlete that wants to you know better himself in life. You know, it's a good sport, you know, to get into it. And it's a sport that doesn't take high school diploma or anything like that to get into. You know, it's
well, if it hadn't been for boxing, you might be farming down in Guadalajara.
Only God knows where I would have been, really. Only God knows. But, you know, it has given me, I have met so many people and been so blessed, you know. And in 1972, I was Connie Stevens. She awarded me the trophy for the Fighter of the Year in the state of California. The year.
Oh, is that right?
And she gave me the trophy, and I got the trophy, and I have a picture with her also.
Yeah, you mentioned your family. Do you have children?
Yes, I do. Okay. I've been blessed with two sons and 2 daughters, and 4 grandsons.
Now, they all living here?
And you know, all over the United States, but I have one living in Maine, which I've never been there. My oldest daughter lives in Maine. And he said, Daddy, if you want to come to see me, come over in the summer, not in the winter.
It gets a little chilly there.
And I have another one in Santa Fe, New Mexico, my other daughter. And my other son, who was in the Marines when the war was going on in Desert Storm, he was in the Marines. He came back okay. He living in Las Cruces, New Mexico. And my youngest son lives in Las Vegas, Nevada. Yes.
Well,
and I'm blessed, and I go visit him.
Well, Rudy, we've had a wonderful hour. This has made two great programs for us, and we hope that the people back out in the audience have enjoyed your life as much as I have. Just chatting with you.
Thank you.
And we've been talking with Rudy El Gato
I got
González
Yeah.
of Oceanside, former lightweight champion of the world, boxing champion. We hope you've enjoyed this series. I'm Tom Morrow. Join us here again next time on Living Legacies.